Alright, what's going on, dudes, and welcome back to SkyBlock. As promised, this time we'll begin work on the much anticipated XP grinder. So before we get started, the difference between the XP grinder and this whole mob trap is that obviously, as the name would suggest, the purpose of the XP grinder is of course to harvest XP so that in the future we can go ahead and enchant some tools and get some cool items with lots of new benefits. So the way this works is we're later on going to get either a skeleton or a zombie spawner, and we want to bring them up to 23 blocks high and have them drop down from there, because 23 blocks is a magical height where they'll have just enough health left so that they can be one-hit killed while I'm holding, say, a piece of food. So let's begin actually by building the drop zone. So it needs to be a 23 block drop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So if that's correct, let's go ahead and test it out. Switch back to survival, and we'll take off our armor. And when we jump off, it should leave us with half a heart left. So there we go. Now, when that's a mob, they don't regenerate health, so we'll simply stand right here and we'll hit them in the shins, and they'll drop like flies. So that's the general, that's the gist of how an XP grinder works. So let's go ahead and build up the remainder. Switch back into creative first. Go ahead and build up the remaining walls, and then we can actually start building the mechanism or the framework in order to spawn our mobs. Right, so now that that's out of the way, we need to actually leave a 1 block opening here, and we'll bring down the walkway another block, just so that it's easier to actually hit them. And what we'll do from this is that when either the skeletons or zombies, it's sort of interchangeable. I haven't decided yet which we'll use. When they drop down, we'll see their little legs here, and we can just hit them over and over and over, and they'll drop XP. So now that we've got that, let's go ahead, make a day, and we're gonna have this go from 3 directions here, maybe 4 even in the future, but it'll allow us to have more mobs dropping at one time, and in turn we'll get more XP. So let's start off by building 1 branch, and then we can simply copy paste in MC Edit later on. So what we want to do is we'll work backwards. So we want at least 2 waterfalls worth of space here. So it's going to be at around 16 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and at that point we will start building down. So we will, it doesn't really matter how far down we go at this point. We'll bound it by glass so that it makes things more interesting to actually watch. So let's make glass on both sides. So now what's going to happen is we're going to have a spawner somewhere in this location. And when they spawn, they're going to go down a little waterway, and they're going to elevate up here by us doing a little mechanism of signs and water blocks. Now, I should mention that the reason we have to actually go through all of this is because spawners will only work when you're within a certain distance of them. So that means we can't simply place a spawner up here or wait for them to spawn naturally. Well, we can't wait for them to spawn naturally because then this would get clogged up with spiders. But we can't simply place it up there because then when we're standing down here waiting for them to spawn so we can hit them, spawner's not going to work. So that's the problem with that method. So anyway, let's us start the nifty little system of signs going all the way up. So I think I may have actually reversed that. So start right there. And we're just going to alternate signs all the way up to the top. And then once we have done that, then we'll place water in between. And what that will allow the mobs to do is automatically scale this entire elevator. And then they'll head back on down to that tube over there where they will drop 23 blocks. And then they'll just barely be alive. And it'll be wonderful. Right, so now that we've got this whole structure nice and finished up for the most part, at least as far as I can see, go ahead and give an overview as to how it works before we actually add in the spawners. So the mobs are going to start down here, and then they're going to end up in this little tube, and due to whatever mechanics have been programmed into their little code brains, they will begin to elevate on up this elevator of water. They'll end up here, and then they'll get pushed on down this little path, and they will end up over here on this block. Go ahead and switch out of creative. And then as they pile up, eventually they'll decide, oh, hey, we have no more space. There's a lot of pressure out here, and we're going to just, boop, broken legs. Darn, that hurt. Well, now where are we? Well, we're unfortunately in this little area where Jordan is going to hang out and punch us in the feet. And since we don't regenerate any health, that's going to cause us to die and drop a whole bunch of XP and allow him to make a whole bunch of nifty enchanted armors and stuff. And it's going to be awesome for him and not so much for us. So, sad story, bros. Sad story. Not so much a sad story for me, but anyway, let's get this area all sorted for the mob spawner itself. And that should work. Once we place down the water, then we can grab a spawner out of MC Edit. I'm actually not entirely sure how we're going to do the whole spawner action, but we'll find a way. Okay, so water there, water there. Should meet up in the middle. And then the mobs will end up down there. You silly ice blocks. Gosh darn it. Okay, it's torch time. Oh, darn you, ice biome. Right on. Okay. Let's try again. And that should work better. Okay, so there we go. Now, once we place a spawner... Oh, I don't know. Right. Not there, because this is lopsided. Silly me. Silly me. Let's not make this lopsided anymore. Place the torch down beforehand once again. And place the water. There we go. Okay. So then we'll go ahead and we'll place the spawner probably right around there. Once we get it. That'll have to be all done in MC Edit. But, yeah. So the reason I have a more open room is because that actually increases the amount of monsters that spawn. in here from the spawner. And then once we go ahead and we duplicate that off into 3 different directions as well, it'll cause a pretty good amount of spawnage, which is exactly what we'd like to see. So, all right, let's destroy any excess stuff that we don't need. Water particle animation dripping through, and there we go. That'll be it. That is our grinder. So I'm gonna go into MC Edit and do all the tedious work involved with setting down one of these spawners, and after that we'll come back, check that it's all working properly, and have ourselves a feast of experience. Right, so just for kicks, over here in MC Edit, I went and found an actual skeleton spawner, and I'm gonna go ahead and clone it, bring it on back, bring it on back to SkyBlock, and we are going to plop it in our XP grinder, and then we'll have to wait for some to spawn once we head back into our world. But yeah, we'll hope it works. So put it right there. And yeah, should be good to go. Actually, we'll raise it up one. I'm not entirely sure if it matters if it's in water or not. If we notice any problems with it, then we can always change it up. But for now, we'll clone it right there. Skeleton spawner, and that should be it. So we'll save. We'll head back into Minecraft, make sure it's working, and yeah, right. So back in Minecraft, I sealed off our spawning area so that the light was low enough for them to actually want to spawn, and it would seem that they are. So hey skeleton, how's it going? I'm creative, so you're going to be passive and not really know what to do with yourself, but that's okay. You should probably come this direction. Yes, follow your friend. Follow your friend. He is having a jolly good time going up the elevator here. It's going to be wonderful. He's going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a good trip, good day for Mr. Skeleton. You're going to be sacrificing your lives for a very, very noble cause. So you should be very proud of yourselves. It's okay. Go over this way. Go over this way. Follow your friend. It's not too different. There you go. There you go. There you go, good buddy. So he's going to end up there, and going to start burning because of sunlight. That's not too good. That's not too good. Let's stop that from happening, my friend. Hey, there you go. On down to the bottom. And he died because he was burning. That happened. Oh, hey. So what's up? We finally got a skeleton who just fell down and didn't die. So what we can do is we can try to punch him. And oh, I also just wrapped around the punching area to the other side so that I wasn't sure if perhaps being over here was too far of a distance for the spawner to work. So just to be safe, I came over here. Let's punch you, make sure that you are dead. Yeah, so that's how we do it. And we get some XP from that. And so now that we know, provided that they live when they hit the ground, now that we know that they will be one-hittable, we can go ahead and we can... What's up? You died. Darn. Oh, man. We can go ahead and we can copy-paste all the way to the other side. And we'll have 3 branches, and hopefully some of the skeletons will survive their falls. Hey, you did. Give me your XP, even though I'm in creative mode. Hey, you just decided to die instead. That works too. All right. Anyway, I'm glad to see that it's working as efficiently as I'd hoped for it to, at least for the moment, with that guy stalking me eerily up top.